We got a little bit of a mix, but they need to know how to help cannabis businesses help be in compliance. What should they know? I mean, maybe we can touch on hemp first and then get into cannabis. Gillian, want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I think the cannabis space is actually the easier one. Follow the regulations. Like that's, they're there, follow those and don't create gray areas. The hemp space is much more difficult because we have very few states that have actually created regulatory framework for cannabinoid hemp products. So my advice there would be that businesses should be following protocols and processes that they would expect to see as part of future regulations, and they should be conservative in what they would expect to see. So if the state has an existing marijuana program and you're a hemp operator, try to follow what you can of their processes and protocols to be compliant with some future regulatory landscape. I think there's a big move in cannabis right now, and I would expect to see that in hemp as well, towards GMP, good manufacturing practices. We have seen testing be the be-all, end-all, and in most other industries, testing is the verification at the end of a quality assurance process. So I think, it'd be good advice for operators in this space to be following some sort of GMP and figuring out how they can create that. And then I think there's a bigger question to consider, which is just because you can make it, does that mean it's safe to sell and safe to have available for consumers? And the current hemp landscape, I think we may have time to talk about sort of bad actors. As Morgan said, there are a lot of good actors, but there are some bad actors who are not following that. And basically anything they can make, they are deeming to be safe to sell to consumers, even if there's no research, even if there's no science to support that it's safe for consumers or what amount it's safe in. So if the science doesn't exist, I think there's more onus on the company or operator to be engaged in trying to further that science and show that they have some evidence to suggest that it is safe to sell and safe in the product and the form and the amount that they're selling it in. So the hemp space is, I think, where a lot of the confusion is. Cannabis operators, follow your regulations. If you have questions about those, reach out to your regulator. They've all got a lot of support to help regulators or to help operators rather be in compliance.
Yeah, and I think Gillian just hit on a really, really excellent point, because we are going to see innovation in this space. We are already seeing it, and we have seen it largely driven by prohibition, because people are trying to find legal alternatives to products that are banned that provide the same user experience. And, we need to find a way to create a pathway for novel cannabinoids and minor cannabinoids to be able to enter the legal market. But to your point, the ones that have not been studied as much, especially some of the newer ones that are really just the product of modern chemistry, need to have a much more stringent approval process. And coming up with exactly what that looks like, I think, is going to be one of the primary challenges for advocates and regulators and legislators going forward.
You've been watching a sneak peek of the next step in cannabis laws and regulations. Click on the link in the description